Hi there, it's Melissa and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my first layout for the year up for Confessions of a Paper Addict Cut Files design team. I'll have the link to the store at the end of my video and it's also in the information below. I decided to not do a Christmas layout and to not do a girly layout, so I decided to scrap this older photo of my boys, Sam, this is from 2017, and also our cat Charlie. And I went with the handsome cut file and I just love it because it's quite simple. I wanted to back it in one pattern paper. I didn't even want the tie to be a separate pattern. Because I've cut it on patterned paper, it is a bit thinner and a bit fiddly, so yeah, it's definitely easier once you just use one piece of paper. You could use another one for the tie, but I like the look of this plaid, so I've gone with this. I thought that I had filmed myself backing it, and I'm sorry, but I haven't. When I've looked at my videos on my phone, I didn't film it, so all I did was use that Tombow mono and just put the glue on the back side of the cut file, glue it down, wait for it to dry, and then trim it out with either my scissors or a combination of my scissors and my X-Acto knife. So I'm using a really old hip kit. It may even be from 2017. I know it's an October kit. I've used it before. Obviously, I'm down to the scraps, but I think I've used it for a Confessions Paper Addict layout before. And because with this layout I'm wanting to go quite simple, if you've looked at my Instagram or even here on YouTube, you'll see that a lot of my layouts have been really labour intensive in terms of backing cut files, and I wanted to show you that you don't have to spend hours or days backing a cut file. You can still make an effective layout in less time, and you can still make your cut files rock. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm using some shimmers in orange sherbet, and this is the one where you've got to mix the two layers. There's like a liquid layer that sits on top of the kind of like a gritty, not gritty, but thicker kind of sherbety layer, and so you mix them, and then I've just used a paintbrush to splatter them. Now I did put it aside to dry, but when I brought it back it was still quite wet, so I've used that paper towel just to try and blot up some of the excess. I wasn't sure if I was that happy with it. I was thinking I needed to add something else, but in the meantime, while it dries a bit more, I am just backing this cut file with craft foam. So you could use, there's a lot of dimensional adhesive on the market as well, but craft foam is cheap and you can cut it really thin, and so I managed to use it on this entire cut file. And then, like I said before, it needed something else, and this is some Kaiser Craft, Kaiser Mist Iridescent Spray Ink in turquoise, and it's quite lovely because it's got a shimmer as well, and it looks really concentrated there, but once it dries and I mop some of it up, it's really pretty and shimmery. So I thought I wanted to add a bit more pattern paper onto this layout, and I had this scrap. This is what I cut the handsome cut file in, and so, looking at the cut file, you can't tell that it's got scallop design, but it does, and so I'm just trimming out a piece of that to put along the bottom of my layout. I'd think about fussy cutting the scallops, but then I thought, no, we're trying to keep this one simple, so we're just going to go for a strip, and I'm just using my Tombow mono again. And I find if I use a liquid adhesive, it's sort of easier to manipulate the paper to where I want it, rather than using double-sided tape, and once it's down, it's down. So just bending up the edges slightly. You can see there that those ink mist splatters are still quite wet. But you can also see how that turquoise dries, so it's not so intense. So now I'm wanting to place my photo down. I've put a couple of mats on it from just the scraps that I have left in that kit. I don't think I have much paper left at all. Got a few embellishments, as you can see there, and a lot of the kit was based on the Pink Fresh Studio Out of the Ordinary, or Escape the Ordinary collection, which is why it works really well for boys. So just wanting to glue or adhere my cut file now, which is serving as part of my title. I will put double-sided tape where there's a large or wide piece of foam, and then use the liquid Tombow just for the rest. And I find that using some double-sided tape will anchor the cut file in the position that I want. And what you don't see is that I go and get a couple of things to put on top of this to hold it down, just to give that Tombow a chance to dry. So it's all dried now, and I'm wanting to call my layout My Handsome Boys, because they're the only boys. My husband is a man, these are the boys in the house, and it's not often that I would see Sam cuddling up to one of the cats like that, so that would have been why I had to take this photo. I think I took it in the evening. I've had to edit it quite a lot, lighten it, brighten it, because it is at night and quite dark photo. But, you know, it's capturing a memory. The photos don't have to be perfect when it comes to scrapbooking. It's what you want to do, how you want to record it, and for me it's the memories that go with the photos as well. So here's the ephemera pack from Escape the Ordinary. There's a few phrases in here I probably will never use, but just going through and wanting to see what's going to work. And because a lot of these do have phrases and words on them, I'm not wanting to take away from the title, because that really is the main, point. What I'm trying to say is I don't want a whole lot of embellishments with words on them, because that can get a bit too much. So I think I go with a couple. That one with the superpower, it did look quite good there, but I thought it was a bit overpowering. I love that one I've just put at the top there, and the You'll Move Mountains will go back and stay there. So I'm looking at these stars here, and they've got gold foil, and that's when I think, I want to add a little, excuse me, a little bit of gold to this layout. So in a sec you'll see me take everything off and do some splattering with my Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold, which I think I've said before, I'm almost at the bottom of this bottle. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, it's a little bit more, and then I've got a whole full bottle, so I've probably got a couple more years worth of Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold before it runs out, and then I'll have to decide what I do after that. Maybe Liquitex Gold, we'll see. So I've just used that packaging to cover my photo, cover the title, because I know if I don't do that I will end up with gold splatter. And I tried to go kind of light on the gold so it wasn't overpowering. Often I'll just go crazy with splattering, and more is always more for me, but in this case less is more. So I am wanting to lift up the part of that die cut that goes above the photo, so I've just used some craft foam again, and once again same technique of using double-sided tape and liquid adhesive. And now I decided I really need to use up a lot of these stars, so I just go star crazy, and I don't overthink where I put these. I just sort of just glue them and get them down, and then I guess look at balance, etc. as I go. Put one across the photo, which is always interesting. And yeah, there's a lot of them in this ephemera pack, so it was great to get these ones used up. Yeah, and then I did also look at this chipboard, and I wanted to use some of that up because my aim is to use the supplies I buy, which is why I'm focusing on this older kit. And I decided there was something lacking on the left hand side of the photo, so that's perfect, just adding those little, I don't even know what they are, little banner pieces. And then I debated putting my journaling under the word boys, but I thought no, let's put it here and provide a bit more balance to the left side of the page. So I'm just writing what I've told you. You can read it, you probably see it better than I can see it at the moment, and you can read it in the final layout as well. So yeah, just about Sam and Charlie really. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. Sometimes when you make a lot of girl layouts, which I do with 3 girls, you find that, I do, I find that quite masculine layouts, I don't know, they're harder to make, or they don't satisfy the eye as much as the girly layouts, because I love girly things. But I'm really happy with this one, and Sam is too, and that's what's important. So yeah, my final touch is to add some Nuvo drops. I've got the gold, I can't remember the exact names, but I love this product so much. I love the way it self-settles. It looks like a tiny enamel dot. And I'm also adding some orange because I remember that I had orange, and orange is not really a colour I gravitate to that often. Although if you looked at my year in colour last year, you'd probably think I do. But yeah, so there's my final layout. I'm happy with how it turned out. Sam's happy, and I'm sure if Charlie could talk, he would say he's happy as well. So I will have all the details below, and make sure you check out the Confessions of a Paper Addict group and Facebook as well. Thanks for watching.